There are some special Minnesota families who have opened their homes, hearts, and wallets to Ukrainian families. The nonprofit Uplift says that Minnesota has more sponsors for families in the United for Ukraine program than any other state in the country. Erin Hazanzadeh introduces us to a family in this next story where that kind of generosity speaks volumes.
Like many of us, when Suzanne Bruss saw Ukrainians fleeing for their lives, she wanted to help. She saw reports of families in Poland opening up their homes.
And I was thinking, could I do that?
She got an email from Uplift. They were looking for sponsors for Ukrainian refugees.
There was a phrase that kept going through my mind, that I am my sister's keeper, that I want to be part of a solution to help, rather than just standing back.
They just decided to, I don't know, be kind and to be helpful. And I really, as a Ukrainian myself, I really appreciate this help.
Being a sponsor involves promising to support another family for their 2-year humanitarian parole. Suzanne realized she could do it with her friends too, as a group. So she asked them.
I almost cried how many of them, said, I'm in.
So she went on a matchmaking journey of sorts, trying to find the right fit for her group of willing friends.
You have to use your intuition a little bit, because you don't know, who's writing exactly.
And then came Ina and her daughter, Nika.
So then I thought, why not to try Minnesota?
Just felt right that we connected with them.
Suzanne and her friends fundraised to bring them here, and it finally happened this winter.
So they arrived December 6th, and we had a greeting at the airport. She came here with very little, money and one suitcase each.
We are very, very grateful.
Ina and Nika lived with Suzanne for their first 3 weeks. 8-year-old Nika finally returned to school.
She always finds friends quickly.
Which was a huge motivation for Ina to come to the States.
Just from school, yeah. She adores music, art.
It's really hard not to feel like they're part of your family.
You're my American family.
For Ina, it's a fresh start for her daughter, yes, but it is also a new beginning for her, and she's embracing that.
I'm ready for that. It's not so scary for me. I tried here lots of things for the first time. Skating, for example, driving, it's for me the first time. And I like to try all these new things.
But she's not doing it alone, and that's sort of the best part. Not just for her, but for Suzanne and her friends and this entire community.
We are very lucky, I think, to be here with such a great support, with so kind, helpful people.
They're just very special people. I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional.
I feel like I'm in the right place.
There's a Minnesota dad who wanted to see change and took matters into his own hands. Like many parents, he was asked to be a guest reader in his kids' class, but he ran into a road bump. Take a look at how he is using that experience to create something very special.
When they brought Awoga home,
it's story time in Mrs. Ott's 4th grade classroom.
Then a raindrop hit my lips.
They're learning about a young boy who moved from Somalia to Minnesota and how that boy marveled at the clean and plentiful water.
The villagers awoke and started collecting the raindrops.
It's a story the kids clearly find captivating. Turns out the story behind the story is captivating too. It takes a while to write a book.
Yes. Writing takes a lot of energy, a lot of thinking. You have to give up something to accomplish this dream.
But it's a dream he was determined to accomplish. Abdullahi came to the U.S. in high school. He was born in Somalia. He's now a proud dad and translator for St. Paul schools. He was asked to read to his daughter's classroom, and he couldn't find a book to represent their story. So he spent years writing one. It's called When Rivers Stop Singing to Cloud, and it's a hit. What did you think of that book?
Awesome. I thought it was awesome because my family is Somalian. I understand a lot of words, so it was very awesome, cool. And the book was really good because it had like It had different languages. It had Somalian and English.
Do you feel like you learned a little bit more about your friend's culture from that book?
They had to travel like 2 miles to get some water, and that just makes me sad.
To see kids identify with these pictures and these words and these stories, what does that feel like to you?
Representation matters. It's good that kids like that they can see, you know, their culture and their, you know, history represented in those books.
And now they can see it and embrace it.
Oh, I'll buy the book. The book was awesome. The best book I saw.
Students at the Hutchinson Adult Basic Education Center are there to learn English as a second language. They might also be working towards their GED. But a student who walked through the doors nearly 2 years ago is a little different in the best way. And it's inspiring, not just the other students, but to the teachers there too. Hutchinson has the story.
If you're looking for a sign to just go for it, look no further than Sam Flom. He stepped into this Hutchinson classroom hungry.
We work with everyone as young from 17, well, all the way up to Sam.
To finish something he started more than 6 decades ago.
He said, I want to earn my GED. And we just said, okay.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah.
I hadn't gotten my diploma back when I was a 10th grader, so I decided to come here and work on that.
Pick it back up.
Yeah.
His answer for why he never finished,
You know, I'm not really sure,
is as simple as his reason for doing it now.
because I didn't have anything else to do.
Sam is 80 years old. His best subject, social studies.
A lot of that I lived.
His worst,
There's 5 out of 8. 5/8.
arguably the math section.
Okay,
You're getting there.
He was 1 point shy of passing it recently.
And Sam just took it with grace and said, okay, well, back to the drawing boards.
His strength
We hear you are the spark plug of the classroom.
is his zest.
my outlook on life is I want to see what's going to happen tomorrow.
And that eagerness is hard to deny.
And I hear that you are very punctual, that you are early, in fact.
Yep.
Never late,
Never late.
always early,
Always.
rain or shine.
Yes.
He is at the door and he's just waiting.
Even in a snowstorm.
Even in a snowstorm.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
A storm that shut down the school.
So I sat out here for 2 hours waiting for the thing to open up. That was my way of working, too. I was always there at least 15, 20 minutes early.
From his decades working at a creamery to a shorter stint as a school custodian, Sam never hardened to one important fact of life. You're never too old to start or finish.
A lifelong learner.
He is a lifelong learner.
Did you think of yourself that way before you
Nope.
started this?
Nope.
But do you agree with that now?
Oh, I agree with it now, yes.
A life lesson
That's what I learned from Sam.
that this student shared with the class.
When you want to learn something new, it's never too late.
Before I left this world, I wanted to say, yes, I have my diploma.
In Hutchinson,
When I get up to heaven, I'm going to whisper in my mother's ear that I got it.
Hutchinson, WCCO News.
Up next, North Minneapolis is getting help from some of its very own. See how a powerful duo is changing the community for the better.